The Master. Paul Thomas Anderson is on this. One of your favorite scenes in The Master.
Of course.
Yeah.
Let me tell you something. There's a scene in this movie that I saw at first, and I was like, it immediately made me buy the movie and watch it.
Yeah.
It's just...
we obviously can't repeat some of the words it says in
But it's the late Philip Seymour Hoffman talking with... well, tell them what The Master's about first.
The Master is kind of... though it was rumored to be about Scientology, P.T. Anderson kind of jokingly called it his Scientology movie, but later on was like, it's not about Scientology, I guess, to avoid getting sued. But it's about Scientology, but they use different names. They use a different name for the religion, but it definitely comes down to a story about two men. One man who claims to have it all figured out is kind of this religious leader, and all these people following him. He's holding all the cards, and then you have Joaquin Phoenix's character, who seems to be kind of this man who doesn't know anything about his life. He's kind of out of control. And then as the movie goes on, you find out that this man who looks like he has everything in control is actually in the worst scenario. And then you kind of have this flop of characters, the swap. Flop, you know.
Flop,
hey,
swap, flip, floppity, swap.
Yep.
Wipe,
But
swap.
it's a great movie, also well shot. Most of these movies, you're going to hear a lot of the same things. They're all well shot, they're all well acted, and this one is definitely... this one definitely should be up there at number 24. I personally think it should be ranked a little higher.
Yeah.
I definitely prefer it over some of these movies.
It could almost be a top 10.
It's
probably one of the finest performances from the late Philip Seymour Hoffman and, well, he's not late, but Joaquin Phoenix. I was going to say Rivers.
Not Rivers.
Yeah, because that's another late one. Sorry, River.
My girlfriend's actually a big fan of Philip Seymour Hoffman, and when he passed, she was obviously tore up about it. For Valentine's Day, I got her a framed picture of Philip Seymour Hoffman from The Master. It came in the DVD, the Blu-ray DVD, so I was able to frame it and give it to her, and she enjoyed that. And I have The Master to thank for that awesome Valentine's Day gift.
This man right here knows how to. He knows his way of.
If you haven't seen The Master, check it out. Number 24 on the list. We're going to go just one back to 25. We're going to talk about Memento. Memento exactly. That's the appropriate question to ask. Memento is a very confusing movie, one of Christopher Nolan's first movies.
Yeah.
Definitely, if you don't know anything about Memento, starring
Guy Pearce.
Guy Pearce, and thank you, man, you're just on fire with the names. Guy Pearce. This movie is very interesting. It's not built like any other movie. It kind of goes in reverse, and it has this guy who's looking for the murder of his wife, but he can't remember anything due to an accident. He has no short-term memory, so every piece of information that he gets that can help him find his wife's killer, he tattoos on his body. So the entire movie, he's kind of retreading back to the point where he can find the murder, and he's just got tattoos all over him. Great performance by Guy Pearce.
You know what's funny about this movie? I sat there and I watched this movie the first time when I heard that Christopher Nolan was going to do Batman Begins. I remember seeing this movie and I was just like, Warner Brothers handed off their multi-million-dollar, their almost billion-dollar franchise to a guy who made a movie about a guy tattooing himself to find vengeance in his wife's killer. I was like, heck yeah!
Nothing says Batman like vengeance.
Yeah. So I was like, he got the vengeance thing. And then, you know, actually, quick thing, another one of my favorite, I'm surprised wasn't on the list, Insomnia with Al Pacino and the late Robert Williams.
Yeah.
So that's another one that I'm surprised, but.
Yeah, that one was on the list.
Along with Winter Bones.
Winter's Bone was not on there as well. Social Network, another movie.
Yes.
We're going through these. There's so many to talk about.
But you can see the list online.
Yeah, Social Network is another one. David Fincher, 2010. Social Network's obviously starring Jesse Eisenberg, our Lex Luthor, our current Lex Luthor. Back before he had the jitters and was hyped up on 5 Hour Energy.
Good job, DC. You made me care. You made me not care about people I used to care about anymore. Good job on that. Not you, Jesse Eisenberg.
But we do care about Jesse Eisenberg in this movie. He plays Mark Zuckerberg, the founder of Facebook, and it kind of starts from his Harvard days when it was the Harvard connection, his battles with the Winklevoss twins, played by Armie Hammer. You got Andrew Garfield in this movie. Everybody just
a number of people.
Rooney Mara.
Rooney Mara, thank you. I was gonna say the girl with the dragon tattoo. Yeah, she plays this movie. Very well done movie. It's actually one of my personal favorites.
And Justin Timberlake. This is the first movie I saw Justin Timberlake could act.
He plays the dude who started Napster. And he's just like him.
He's just like him. Very well-made movie.
Highly recommend it. One of the best soundtracks too I've heard to it.
Great soundtrack, yeah. I don't own the soundtrack, but I hear good things.
Oh, okay.
I hear good things.
I mean, if you like ambient music and noises,
And college campuses.
Yeah, college campuses.
34 on this list. A movie I didn't expect to see this high. The Dark Knight. The only superhero movie on this list.
Which actually surprised me about a superhero movie. If there's one you're going to pick, obviously this is the one you're going to pick. But I'm kind of a little surprised, especially in comparison that I guess Captain America's Winter Soldier was a very well done, or even Civil War.
Right.
Some people, I would say that, just even though that came out this year. But
Yeah,
if I was going to say, yeah.
Dark Knight has been getting a lot of love from critics in the past few years, ever since it came out in 2008. Christopher Nolan kind of brought Batman back from the dead, back from the Schumacher days, back from the bat nipple Schumacher days. So it's great to see him. Obviously, you can't talk about
What killed the Ice Age? Me. Sorry. No, I'm going to kill the dinosaurs Ice Age. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah. Obviously, you can't talk about The Dark Knight without talking about Joker and Heath Ledger getting the posthumous Oscar for his performance as the Joker.
I will say, though, one of the things about it is that it's not just a well-done comic book movie. It's just a well-done movie.
It is.
A heist movie. It's a well-done. It's like a thriller. It's a lot of different genres that Christopher Nolan really mixed into.
Has a lot of parallels to David Fincher's Seven.
It does.
A lot of the same beats of a criminal wanting to get caught, and it's all part of his master plan. And the Joker is just this magnetic presence in the film.
And one of the movies you definitely need to check out is Heat, because that also has an influence in this movie as well.
Heat is one of those classic movies that I have not seen.
It's all right.
Let the comments come. I'm sorry.
You're not dead yet.
But Dark Knight, I said this earlier, I was surprised to see it as high. That's not because I think The Dark Knight's not that good. Obviously, I'm a huge Batman fan. I think it should win it should be on the top of all the lists.
Of course.
I did not think the critics would put it this high, because superhero movies kind of have this bad reputation of being not as good.
I think it's because a lot of people don't consider The Dark Knight almost like it's a superhero movie. The way how it presented itself,
It's more cerebral.
It is a superhero movie, but it's not. And I think that's just what it is. If you take out just the whole, if you just made just a movie about a vigilante, like a rich dude who is just a vigilante, and not have it associated with Batman, it's still a very well done movie.
At the end of the day, it's just about two men going at odds with each other at the end of the day. I mean, obviously, it's with flipping trucks and
stuff like that. I mean, one wears clown makeup, the other dude's a guy that dresses as a bat punching people with his bare hands, but that's besides the
He
point.
is not wearing hockey pads.
No, he's not.
He is not wearing
I'm
hockey pads.
not wearing hockey pads. I don't have throat cancer. Number 41.
That's beautiful. Who wrote that song? Was that Celine Dion?
That sounds like Dorothy from Family Guy. Inside Out. He's number 40.
That's enough now. All right, 41 on this list. Inside Out. Inside Out came out last year. Obviously, won the best picture for animated
I finally sat
film.
down and watched that.
Did you watch it by yourself?
I did.
How many tears did you cry? And why was it all of them?
Hey, spoiler alert, sorry if you have not seen Inside Out.
Just fast forward.
Just fast forward this part. But
Starting now.
When the guy just sacrificed himself to help out Joy.
A Bing Bong?
Yeah, Bing Bong.
Bing Bong.
And just the whole, when she's like crying to her parents about how much she misses Minnesota, and just that whole.
That movie does such a good job of accessing your childhood. Right in the heart, the little piece of your heart that your childhood lives in, and just attacking it. Because I watched this by myself as well, and thank goodness I watched it by myself, because if my girlfriend had been in the room, I would have been like, don't look at me, because I was having ugly man tears.
Oh, please, let me tell you something, and I was okay with it, because it really is. It's one of Pixar's finest, and I'll be honest with you, it wasn't really one of the ones I was kind of looking forward to. Kind of was like, I'm not.
Yeah,
really
it's kind
sure.
of a sleeper.
Yeah,
you're like,
but
oh,
it
emotions,
just-
fine.
Okay, and you know what? Man,
You should have known Pixar emotions.
I should.
I'm going to cry.
I should have chose that movie over Jurassic World when it came out last week.
Did you pick Jurassic World instead of Inside Out?
Because everyone kept telling me like, yeah, man, this is a great movie, one of the finest movies since Jurassic Park. And I saw that, I was like,
I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. That's like a death in the family. If you need
hey,
anybody
too
to
bad
talk to.
Avatar's not on this list.
Oh man, that's a whole nother episode. We'll talk about Avatar. Moving on, going one back again. A lot of these movies we're finding are in twos.
Twos, yeah.
42 on this. 12 Years a Slave.
Now, did you just put this on there just because of me?
No.
Are you sure?
Maybe.
Okay.
So 12 Years a Slave. We're talking about it. Steve McQueen directing this movie with Ejiofor.
You have to watch the Ejiofor.
Thank you so much. And he plays a man a free man who lives in the free states up north, gets kidnapped and sold to the highest bidder in the south. It gets enslaved, and he's trying to tell everyone, like, I'm not a slave, but he perseveres, and this goes back to the book 12 Years a Slave, which I also read after seeing this movie. It was I read books.
No, I'm just so impressed with you.
But that's why I like movies, because they're like visual books.
You told me so much about this, because I got a confession to make. I haven't seen this movie yet, so good for you.
Oh man, yeah, definitely recommend it. It's a great movie.
Really?
12 Years a Slave is a great movie.
Would you also recommend The Color Purple and all the stuff while you're at it too?
I'm recommending it because it's a good movie.
I didn't believe you. Go ahead.
But
you really like Brad Pitt that movie, didn't you?
Brad Pitt actually was a good person in that movie. But that movie made me scared of Michael Fassbender and Paul Dano, because Paul Dano, he's great in every movie. Paul Dano is also in There Will Be Blood. So I was really looking forward to this movie just to see Paul Dano. But man, I did not like Paul Dano in this movie or in There Will Be Blood. He's really good at playing a bad guy. And Brad Pitt's in this movie, Benedict Cumberbatch, really an all-star cast. Sarah Paulson, who just played on People vs. O.J. Simpson.
Yep.
American Horror Story. Great performances all around. There's a scene that just had me, no pun intended, choked up, where he's kind of hanging from a tree, but he's able to touch the ground just a little bit. And they don't break. It's just one scene where he's just trying to touch the ground, and they don't break, and no one helps him. And it's a really hard to watch scene, but man, just watch the movie.
I will watch the movie because of you.
Thank you.
Would you like to watch Roots while you're at it too?
No.
You don't have enough time for that, don't you? What else is on this list?